Hi guys, today we're going to talk all about making Scentsy samples. Start off, we've got a couple different ways that we can make these, right? One of those ways happens to be actually making molds out of our wax. So what I use is I get my chocolate melter. This is just a chocolate melter that I got at my local craft store. I used a coupon, got it for 50% off, so it was a great deal. I only use this for samples, so if you guys do plan on using a melting pot like this, I would recommend making it strictly for just your wax, because otherwise you may start to get some waxy tasting food, which is fine. You can eat our Scentsy wax, but I don't recommend it, and neither does Scentsy as far as I'm aware. So whatever you're planning to use, just strictly use it for your sample making. So this is what I use, but there's tons of different ones out there. So what I do is I take my Scentsy bars, I melt them in my melter, and then you can use just some different molds. And it just is all a matter of preference when you're using molds. So these are the older Scentsy Family Store ones. They've got the new ones out. I have not gotten those yet, but you can see these are just the bar shape and stars. The new ones are very nice. They've got the logo on them as well, so I think that's cool. So there's that. Obviously, all of the craft stores and on Amazon.com, you can find tons of molds, and it kind of depends on your preference. For a lot of mine, I like to use the plastic molds just because they're easier to work with, and I just feel very comfortable with them. So these are just some ones that I've purchased from my local craft store. I think I got this one at the grocery store. Actually, it's supposed to be like an ice cream or an ice cube melter mold, but obviously I just use mine for wax, and it's these little cute pumpkins. I keep it around every year for that season. Here's just some plastic molds of stars. So when you're searching either online or in the stores or at the craft stores, look towards like the candy or the cake making section, because these are actually made for like candy molds, but these are the ones that you can get to use just fine for a wax. So you've got the mold method, right? A second method we've got is using a crinkle cutter. So basically you just take a cube of wax and you can slice it, and I'm going to show you here. So what this knife looks like, it literally is a little wavy knife. Again, got this at a different section. I got this at Bed Bath & Beyond, and I want to say it was like $3 if I remember correctly. I've had it for quite a while, so I know you can get it at Bed Bath & Beyond. You can also get it on Amazon as well, because I have seen them on Amazon. So you can pick up one of those. That makes it really quick and easy for samples. So you've got two ways to break down your wax. You can melt it down and use a mold, or you can use a little knife or just a regular knife as well and just cut off little pieces or chunks of a bar. Just is all a matter of preference and time sometimes. So you'll see here, I pulled out some different examples of what I've done. So what I do is when I make up my molds, and again, it's all a matter of preference when it comes to bags as well. I have different sizes of bags. You can get your bags in the jewelry section at practically anywhere anymore. But I like to order mine off of Amazon because I can order them in bulk. So this is the 3x4 size. You see it's a little bit bigger, but I'll use this as a reference. I like these because when I'm handing out a business card with a sample, these 3x4s really are like the perfect size, because I can get my business card and a sample in there and be able to close it up tight. So I like those for that purpose, or if I'm using maybe a bigger mold or something, making a special sample. But for regular usage, I use one of two things. These are the I think these are 2x3 2x3 bags. So that's just a regular jewelry bag. And then of course the Scentsy Family Store, we've got some great little bags in there too. These are ones that I've stocked up on. I think they've got newer ones now. But you can find them in the Scentsy Family Store. I think they're called mini zip bags. So they should be in there. So again, matter of preference. What do you prefer? How do you want your samples to look? It's truly up to you. The choices are endless. So basically what you're doing is you are either cutting or you are melting down some wax into a mold. You're going to put it into a bag. Now, some people kind of get stuck on this step on what to do next. How do I make it look pretty? Well, that's what I wanted to share with some little ideas for you. So if you want to go plain simple, use a business card. All I do is I take a sample and I staple it to the back of a business card. You'll see that bag is almost the exact size of my business card. So it's really nice and convenient and small. So I can staple these guys together, carry them with me in my purse or my bag, and just be able to easily hand them out. The main point in samples is making sure that your information is on whatever it is that you are handing out. So as you can see, I usually staple my samples to different methods, and I'll go through those. But that's why I don't have on the bags a label with my info, because I'm stapling it to something with it. If you're strictly using just the bag and not going to staple it to anything, then I highly suggest putting one of your labels on the bag, okay? Because the whole point is for them to go home, try this wax, warm it. Of course they're going to fall in love with it, and then they're going to need to know who to call so they can order it, or where to go so they can order it. So that's why you want to always make sure your information is on your samples that you're passing out. That is rule number 1. So you can see here, short, quick, and easy method, right? I just stapled it to a business card. That was it. You can get on, and I do this very frequently. I order lots of different postcards off of Vistaprint, vistaprint.com, and so I go through phases of business or of postcards like this, so it just kind of depends on what I'm feeling. It doesn't have to be fancy. It truly, again, it's just a matter of preference. But what I have done is I've set my postcards up to include a great spot for me to staple a sample to, tell them what the sample is, and then just give them my contact information or some other information as well. So there's just 2 different examples of how I do that. Again, it's just me having fun on vistaprint.com. Nothing snazzy or anything like that. You can use their custom made templates, so that's great too. So it just kind of depends how you want to do it. Now, because I subscribe as a consultant to the warmer and or scent of the month kit every single month, that means I get 50 flyers in that kit along with the scent of the month, with the bars and the rub-offs or rub and sniff stickers. So I really take advantage. So this is a really great way to show how I'm truly using all of the components in my scent of the scent of the month kit. So I'm using the flyer. On the back, of course, I've got my stamp with my name and my contact info. So now they are seeing the entire monthly special, right? They get to see the warmer, they get to really read about the fragrance and all of that. They can also see the previous ones that might still be available. And then on the front is usually where I will, again, just staple my sample. You can see here, I've just used one of the molds from the Scentsy Family Store mold maker silicone thing. So that is the flyer method. Here's the postcard method. Here's the business card method. And this is a way, now again, this was a fun craft day. So what I did is I save all of the clamshells to all of my Scentsy bars. I save them because they're great to repurpose and upcycle to use as ways to give samples or just to be able to share my information. So what I like to do is I will go to the craft store. I buy these little magnets, or you can get them on Amazon too. Last time I did an order on Amazon, I got some really cheap. So I just get the smaller magnets. I use a hot glue gun. I cut this off of the bar. So this is just cut off, and I just kind of trim the edges, make sure there's nothing sharp there. Hot glue a magnet on the back. Then I've got my sticker on the front, and then it's showcasing the scent. Now, what I've done on some of them, when I had the rub and sniff stickers, so these stickers, and you can order them separately in the Scentsy Family Store. Sometimes I would stick them on the back. You know, I'd find a little bit better rooms. Usually it was down here. And sometimes you can still see there's little remnants of wax in here. I can still smell Bora Bora Blossom on here. It's kind of cool. But what I really like about this, and what I found too, is if I kind of trim back a little on here, I get better grip. But because I'm using a thinner magnet. What I do with these is, again, I'm using it as just a gift to share my Scentsy love with my customers or potential hosts or customers. And I will usually toss one of these into their order bag. And so, of course, it's got the magnet on it, so they can then stick it to their fridge or their file cabinet in their office, whatever. And then it's, again, just a fun little friendly reminder. Hey, I'm your Scentsy consultant. So that's that. So there you go. So you've got some different ways of looking at samples, right? So different ways of making them, different ways of displaying them. And again, sky is the limit when deciding on how you're going to make some samples up. So play around with it, get creative, have fun. That's what's most important. Till next time, peace, love, happiness. Mwah.